My name is Marjorie Liu, and I write the Dirk and Steele series for Leisure, which is basically a series of paranormal romantic thrillers dealing with shapeshifters and psychics and mermen and gargoyles, all bunched together in one detective agency. They go out and fight crime. Starting with the prequel, it sort of reveals the origins of Dirk and Steele, which are in some ways, very humble, starting off in the Midwest. And then you jump maybe 50, 60, 70 years into the future, and the first book, Tiger Eye, starts off in China, dealing with a member of that particular family discovering a riddle box, a little box in Beijing, in the dirt market in Pajiayuan. And she opens it up, and out springs this 2,000-year-old shape-shifting warrior, who's her own personal slave. And from there you're introduced to the Dirk and Steele detective agency, which is full of psychics at that point. But as the series progresses, the psychics are joined by shapeshifters and by other non-human creatures, mermen and gargoyles. And with each book, I've tried to expand the world, and this secret world of magical creatures that coexist with regular humans, who are trying to live their lives the best way they can, trying to help people when they can, and how it's in a way this very interesting, very eccentric little family that she keeps growing with each book. So The Wild Road is about it's sort of a sequel in some sense to the novella I did called Dream of Stone and Shadows, which first introduced the gargoyles. And basically you have this gargoyle who's lived most of his life isolated in Maine, and he can go out amongst regular humans, but he has to bind his wings. He casts an illusion making him look like this very human man, but he binds his wings so he can't doesn't accidentally brush up against people, so they question what's this weird thing that's touching me. And he's a bookbinder and restorer, and he's just a very quiet individual. And then one day he's visiting a friend in Chicago, and he finds this woman who's trying to steal his car, and she's covered in blood. She doesn't remember who she is. And so basically the story takes off from there. He's trying to help her. He feels sorry for her. And he's also been mistreated in his life. He's been kidnapped and hurt. So he understands that feeling of vulnerability. And it really, it really speaks to him. And so it's basically in a weird sort of gargoyle, amnesiac sort of road trip thing where it goes down through the Midwest from Illinois to Indiana, and it touches upon the prequel story about the Dirk and Steele's origins. It touches upon an earlier book called Soul Song. Again, it touches upon A Dream of Stone and Shadows. So it kind of gathers together these little threads and answers some of the questions that have been raised over the course of the series.